Hello, I am the Dance of Life dancer. Welcome to 7 Days in Hell, part number 3. Stephen said, "You're hanging there in cell 6 right now. We're trying to get someone to save you." As I thought I could hear loud screams of bars clanging, of hundreds, like hundreds and hundreds of inmates in a jail would. They were slamming against the bars trying to get the guards' attention. Yet, they would not come, the guards. I heard voices of many inmates, and many people screaming, "Hurry, come, fast, Susan's hanging. She's hanging in cell block number 6. Go to cell 6. Please, hurry, hurry, help Susan. She's dying. Guard." They called out, "Guard. Out, out, out," over and over and over. "Hurry, come. Hurry, Susan's hanging. She's hanging in her cell. She's dying. I can see her." Over and over and over. I could hear this. I screamed out in wretched terror in my mind as my mind snapped out of reality. "God help me!" I screamed this out loud for what seemed hours and hours. "God help me! God help me! God help me! God help me!" Hours. I yelled out for Street Stephen, saying, "Am I dead yet? Am I still alive? God help me, Stephen, please. Am I dead yet? I don't want to die. I don't want to die. Help me, God, please. I don't understand." He said, time after time after time, "Here, where am I at right now? Where my soul is different than it was when you're alive on earth. I'm so close to death, but not yet, Susan. I'm so close to death, but not yet. Not yet, Susan." I asked them, one of the paramedics is talking about giving up. And the paramedic said, "Susan is dead. Susan is dead." Just then I wailed out screaming in horror, pure terror, like a drowning man or a dying man. I said, calling out to the ambulance paramedics, "No, God, no! Please don't give up on me. I'm not dead yet." I called out to this for what seemed like hours, until my voice was on fire, pain in my throat like it was on fire, hoarseness. I heard Stephen Jackson again. He said, "No, no." Stephen Jackson said, "No, no. Don't let Susan die." I began to scream very loudly for Stephen. Stephen said to me, "Yell out for them to check the chart. Check the chart." The ambulance paramedics, "Tell them to check the chart, for they missed something on it. They missed something on the chart." I began to scream out over and over out of my cell door. "Check the chart," I would say. "Check the chart. I'm not dead. Please, check the chart." As the burned guards supposed, the demons, the burned people dressed in police guard uniforms, attacked me, cut me up, beat me with sticks, hit me in the face, tore up my body as if cutting up a piece of meat. They wouldn't stop. They wanted me to die. They wanted me to scream. They wanted me to be in pain. They wanted my soul. They wanted me in hell. I screamed out past their beatings, "For God's sake, please check the chart." I must have said it 50 to 100 times, over and over. The ambulance paramedics, "Check the chart." Strangely enough, it was as if I came back to the cell again as the cell started to go down again like an elevator. As I screamed out for Stephen again, and the building with the rough green stone was gone, I saw nothing but barren ground, dirt, charred rocks, smoke, as if the cell moved down again, downward again. I again began to feel hotter and hotter as I heard voices saying, thousands and thousands of voices over and over, "Susan sentenced to life," or "Is Susan sentenced to eternal hell?" Susan is sentenced to life. She is sentenced to eternal hell. I heard over and over again music and words as I heard the words saying, the dance of life, the dance of life. They had somehow stolen everything in my dance of life and was using them and my thoughts in my own mind against me. I could hear the music over and over again. The words, the dance of life, the dance of life. They had stolen my dance of life and used it against me. I saw smoke as I screamed like a wild animal, and the heat was unbearable, enough to kill many times over, but it didn't somehow affect me. I could not die. It was somehow not, I was somehow not receiving the full effects of this place. I screamed out to God, God help me! God help me! God help me! Over and over and over again, in mental confusion, torment and terror, and torment and frozen fear. My God, I'm a sinner on my way to hell. God, God, please, help me. Suddenly, as fast as it all started, my cell again was in that same building where the rough green stone was. The 4 cells were, and Stephen Jackson was. The next time, yet another person, the other person, I don't know who his name was, joined Stephen Jackson. He was in the center. He was in the center, number 2, next to mine. As I screamed out again to someone or something that was repeatedly banging at my cell door, these people, these things, were charred, disfigured, as if they had burned up in a fire. A fire. People couldn't be alive. Not in real life. They can't be real. I can't describe them. They're like demons. People once alive, burned in hell's fire. They hit my cell door with clubs, iron things, fists, etc. to shut me up. However, I kept screaming, for God's sakes, for God's name. Please, check the chart. I am not dead. Paramedics, check the chart. I am not dead. Hey, I am not dead yet. Please, in God's name, I beg you. Is this, my face was full of tears all by then. I was hearing thousands of screaming people in agony in the background, screaming all the time, burning, making out figures in the flames. As I kept hearing voices saying over and over again, illegal transgender, illegal transgender. Not this one voice, thousands and thousands of voices. I heard them voices calling me, Susan, Susan, Susan. The other person whose name I don't know, who suddenly appeared into the next cell from mine, number 2, and I started talking to him, and I was hearing a weird kind of music and a song playing over again and over again. The song was called The Dance of Life. I heard crackling sounds and I saw more people. They were not alive. They were scarred up, as if they were burned up and twisted up in a fire. As horrifying and as if they were in demonless freeze, in a dimensionless freeze, in time, like a nightmare you could never have. As I screamed out loud for Stephen Jackson and the other guy in number 2, the other guy in number 2 answered back instead. I said, am I dead? He didn't answer. He didn't say anything at first. I again said, am I dead? He answered back, not yet. You're still hanging by your neck in cell block 6. And we're trying to get the guards to come and help you, to cut you down, to discover you're hanging there. But you're dying. It's almost too late. As I screamed out loud again, I heard the inmates and the people in the background screaming out loud, help Susan, help Susan. Susan's hanging. She hung herself. Please come. She's hanging. She's dying. Help her. Hurry up. Come, cut Susan down. My God. They said, she did it. She did it. She's hanging there. She hung herself. I can see her wiggling around, hanging from the cell bars. I could then again hear the sounds of many inmates clanging the bars like a riot, beating, shaking. Bars is calling for help for me, as if it was too late. Before it was too late. Come here, hurry, guard. Susan's dying. She's dying. She's dying. Inmates clanging the bars, shaking, rattling the bars, calling for help before it was too late. Come here in a hurry. Fast, guard, something's wrong. Susan hung herself. I said, it ain't working. It ain't working, Stephen. I said, is it working? His voice sounded so broken and mortified. And he said, no, it's not working. You're dying. You're dying. In those soundless words, I was stricken in such total sense of frozen total fear as I heard the voices of thousands of people and demons. I saw, but I could never describe, in the cell with me, the faces that were in the corners, screams out of all four corners, eyes, things that were in the walls, eyes, cameras in the bricks, cameras that were in the bricks, things that were in the bricks. I can't describe what they were. They were moving around. They were right there, but I would not be able to get to them, as they were laughing and saying, "You're dying. Call out right now, once before you die." I heard the voices as if they were muffled, as if they were burning in a fire. I saw the cell and the creatures in there with me, as if it was a tremendous source of heat. I saw the heat from the cell and the ugly creatures in there. They were wavering, as if I could see the heat coming out of hell itself, calling out, "Susan!" It never stopped. So I did. I screamed out for hours and hours. It seemed time was frozen here. It didn't exist. I screamed till I could no longer scream. Blood came out of my mouth. I screamed so loud. I could no longer talk. Still, I continued to scream. Then I fell to the cell floor with a sense of such absolute fear it would kill anyone else, and a horror so twisted up that it was hell in reverse. It should have killed me, but again I could not die here. The heat and the petrified smell coming out of the dark red flame, barren wasteland, should kill a normal person, but again, somehow I was spared from feeling the full effects of this place. I'm not sure why I did not feel or experience the place's full effects. As I began to again hear tens of thousands of screams of pure agony, a kind of limbo or a waiting room, of some kind, or I'm dead already. As I was feeling the total separation I was experiencing, was far beyond your worst nightmares. Again, as I looked out of the cell 3 door, and I was being wheeled into the ambulance, I saw the paramedic again say, "Call Susan's time." Susan's time of death occurred at 2 a.m. As I saw the paramedic begin to remove the ventilator mask from my face, I let out a scream to end all screams. "God, no! God, no, please! Please, God, no, please, God! I don't want to die!" Tears of horror were streaming down my face, as I then saw myself and a mask, my mask, placed on a dead body. As I saw the face of a black figure, without knowing anything more, a sense of pure, frozen, total terror, fear unlike any other, felt came over me from head to feet, as I knew the thing, the figure, the face of the man of death was his face was full of black, his eyes were hollow, evil, and dead. He was the angel of death. As he came towards me, the angel of death, I let out my hands to shove him away. I let out a scream, "Hey, ambulance people!" I screamed out so loud. Blood was spitting from my mouth. "Please, paramedic! Please, paramedic! Please, God in heaven, check the chart!"